Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. I'm Rapha'Yah. We are going to go ahead and get started on this amazing Torah portion, Behaaloteha, which means in English, when you ascend. And this Torah portion is super vital for us to understand that perhaps our Creator wants us to ascend to His abode. The problem is that we don't want to ascend, but we want to descend, the opposite. On this Torah portion, we will see what the Creator wants from all of us, not just for myself, for each one of us has a certain responsibility to carry in our lives. And this demonstrates our Creator how important we are in His eyes. We will see also how the Creator also has a lot of things encoded on the Torah that has a lot to do with us in the Torah. So it always a mirror to us for one reason or another. Before we jump start, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so you can get the latest production. Right now I'm literally working left and right. We are just about to launch our new website very, very soon. It's going to be called the TorahFX.org. It's coming very, very soon. I'm literally working on it right now, and it will be launched very, very soon. We're gonna have tons of stuff in there. We'll have the Torah calendar there, which obviously we can't have it here on other platforms, but because we will have our website, we will have that available for you guys until 2050. We will also have studies, Torah studies there. We will have many things. We will have announcements, and that I will be constantly updating because I won't have control over the website. So I can be doing a lot of constant updates and news and so forth. So it's going to be amazing what we will have there in the TorahFX.org, our newest website ever. So it's coming very, very soon. I'm very happy for it. And maybe at the end of the Torah teaching, I will give you more details and other news. So let's just start onto this. And like I said earlier, this amazing Torah portion has a lot to do with how we convey ourselves into the Torah, but the problem is that sometimes we kind of forget what the Creator wants from all of us. Let's just jump start. Chapter 8, verse 1, Parashat Behaaloteha. Yahweh spoke to Moshe and said to him, speak to Aharon and say to him, Behaaloteha, which means when you ascend, the light of the 7 lamps shine towards the front of the menorah. These 7 lights, these 7 lamps are not the same as the branches. The lamps the lamps that they were supposed to put on top of the menorah of every branch, and I will show you in a minute. But before that, let's go back to this very verse that shines towards the front of the menorah. Very important statement, because here we see that our Creator is making a very precise instruction, and that instruction is that lamp had to face the middle of the menorah. Every lamp has to face the middle of the menorah, and I will show you in a minute so we can have an idea what Yahweh is speaking to Moshe and Aharon, speaking about how they're supposed to construct this menorah, these 7 candlesticks. If you notice here on top, there are lamps. The lamps are supposed to have oil, and each one of them are facing towards the front. You see that, towards the middle. On the left side, we do the same, all facing the middle. And there is something encoded in there, because right on the top, right here on the middle, happens to be what is called today the shamash. Shamash into English translated means the servant. That's what it means, shamash. And it's very crucial because right in the middle, there is something encoded in the middle that I will bring a little bit in just a minute, okay? So let's continue with the next verse. Chapter 27, verse 20 of Shemot, take for yourself crushed olive oil, pure for lighting, to light the lamp continuously. This oil had to be in a certain condition, which is an extra extract, crushed olive oil. This is not something normal, but very, very pure, even though today they would do that as well. So let's go continue with the next verse. Chapter 27, verse 21 of Shemot or Exodus. Aharon and his sons will put on the Ochel Moed, which is the tent of assignment, outside the curtain at the front of the testimony, and keep it burning from the Erev, which means from the evening until the dawn, which is a Boker, before Yahweh. This will be a permanent regulation for all generations of the sons of Israel. Now, from the evening to the dawn, that's why Yahweh says that this lamp and the menorah had to be burning, which means that if you want to write it down, please do so, because this is very crucial word I'm about to say. Every day is not the same in the whole cycle of the whole year. Let me explain you when I say that. Every day, I'm talking about the daylight and the nighttime. It runs in a certain hours. Like for instance, right now we are in the season of fall, of autumn. The season of fall, usually the nighttime usually runs for many, many hours of nighttime, which means that they need, in this case in the Torah, Yahweh is telling them that they needed to get the oil, the olive oil, in a certain amount so it can burn in a certain amount of hours. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, as the days went by, the days would differ from one another, which means, let me give you an example a little bit more around the year. For example, in the beginning of the year, the days will be more equal because the daylight will be the same as for example, Abib 1 will be basically 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of nighttime. In other words, as the day went by, like in the season of summer, then the daylight will be longer. That means that the nighttime will be shorter, and that means that the amount of olive oil will be less. So you see what I'm saying? So they had to precisely measure the olive oil so they can burn the night of that precise night throughout the entire year. So that's what the Creator is very precise in the sons of Aharon. They needed to do the same as it was instructed. So very, very important. Now, let me show you something very, very important that is encoded on the Torah. Chapter 9, verse 22, as if the cloud remained over the Mishkan, or where the tent is, 2 days, 1 month, 1 year, stayed on him. The sons of Israel remained on the camp and did not travel, but as soon as it was raised, they traveled. So it was 2 days, 1 month, 1 year. This is very crucial. And when we see, if you want to write it down, please do so. Every time you see little nuances, little anomalies like this in the Torah, which means there is something encoded in the Torah that Yahweh wants to tell us for us to search out. The problem is that we don't want to find out what that means. A lot of these things encoded in the Torah, there's something encoded that we need to search for. And I'll give you an example of this very verse. 1 year is 365. 1 month regularly is 31 days. 2 days, the total of 398 days. Now, why is this very, very crucial? Why is this very important in the Torah? Remember that numbers are very important in the eyes of Yahweh. Even our Mashiach mentioned about numbers. For example, when he gave the number of the fish, remember that 300 plus numbers is because there are certain amount of numbers that are very crucial on the Torah. 398 is break it down to 398, which is 20. 3 plus 9 plus 8 gives you 20. In the Torah, in the Hebrew alphabet, is the number 20 is the letter Kaf, which is, I want you to see me when I say this, is the hand. The hand is the one that is the Kaf. Why is this very important? Because it has a lot to do with the Torah and with all of us indeed. The letter Kaf in the ancient form of the letter is an open palm of a hand. The meaning of this letter are fold and curve from the shape of the palm as well as the tame or semit, as someone who has been bent to the wheel of Opta, which means the wheel of our Creator doing His will. So in other words, what the Creator wants from all of us on that number 20 in the letter Kaf is for us to acknowledge that yes, indeed, we need to follow Yahweh's instruction. And let me give you what I'm talking about. The letter Kaf and is the kavanah, which is the spiritual concentration on the root that points something that is pointing on the spiritual realm. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Yohanan 10:27, my sheep will hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I will give them the Olam Haba, which is the everlasting life. They will absolutely not be destroyed. And look at what Mashiach said, and no one will snatch them from my hands. You see that? So that's the letter Kaf, for my hands. Why is this very important? Because if we do the will of our Creator and we hear the word Shema, Shema is not just to listen, but also to obey. If we obey our Creator's voice, in this case, Mashiach giving that is the word of Yahweh, then we need to bend our will to our Creator. This is very crucial because we know that the Creator wants us to have everlasting life. The Olam Haba. The problem is that we tend to yield more about the secular world rather than our Creator. And this is a fact. So let's continue. Chapter 10, verse 27, my Ab, my Father who gave them to me, is greater than I and than all, and no one can snatch them from the hands of my Father. Do you see that? From my Ab. So in other words, not just from our Mashiach, Yahushua, but also from our Father as well. Why? Because once we are in the hands of our Father, the protection, then what else can we fear? What else can we say to the world? You can touch me. You can kill me, but you can kill my inner soul. Only the Creator can do that. And it's very, very crucial for us to acknowledge that, especially nowadays. Our Mashiach's return is very clear. It's very near. More than ever. As the days go by, so it draws to the second coming of our Mashiach. And this is just a fact, whether we accept it or not. We see the signs. Our Mashiach said very clear on 24 of Matthew the signs of the end of time, this era. But the problem is we tend not to see them, even though we kind of know them or we read them, but we don't want to acknowledge them because we still want to have more fun. Now, let me give you an example of all this. In the Torah, there are two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. But let me start off with this. In our bones, in the spinal cord, there are 33 bones. On those 33 bones, it looks kind of like a snake, if you notice here. Those 33 bones is something that you and I have been seeing for a while in the secular world, in secret societies. And it's the snake. The snake in the Torah is the knowledge. The knowledge that is embedded into the world is something that a lot of people are attracted to, the occult. Okay? And it's very important for us to understand what the Creator wants from us, which is the enlightenment of the Torah, not of the occult. People are very attracted to the occult, and this is a huge problem. Some teachings of the New Age state that the key of 33 implies awakening of the sentient, or in other words, the snake inside. That snake happens to be the knowledge. What knowledge? I'll bring it in a minute. 33 is what you see nowadays in secret societies around the world. 33 is basically what we seen earlier, which is the enlightenment of the occult. 33 is being about the Masonic Lounge, and even Walt Disney has this 33 club. Why? Because Walt Disney happens to be part of it was a Mason as well. And this is embedded in all their content in Disney. Now, let's continue. If you notice, all this is just all about, if we search out, you see what they have encoded for years, and it's something that you cannot say we don't know that. You see it all over. You just have to find out what they're telling you in their own content. The tree of knowledge from the beginning of the creation, from Garden of Eden, has been passed on, and it's been throughout cultures. The Egyptians had it, the tree of knowledge. I know they call it the tree of life, but indeed it is the tree of knowledge. The Assyrians happens to have the same. I'll show you in a minute. The Assyrians, even before the flood, all these archaeological finding always give you that idea. Genesis chapter 3 verse 5, because Yahweh know that the day that they eat from him, from that tree, their eyes will open and you will be like gods, like deities, like Elohim, knowing good and evil. This is what the serpents told our mother Chava, our Eve. And this is what happens to be sort of like a lie in a truth, because that's what Satan always trying to promote, doubt. This is the doubt that promote to our mother Eve. That doubt is what shouldn't be on us. No shadow of a doubt. Why? Because Yahweh is truth. There is no doubting him. And without it, if we start having doubts, that means the emunah, the consistency, I know they call it faith, start going down. Chapter 5, verse 15, they don't light the nair to put it in a hidden place where it does not shine, but they will put it in the menorah, so that it will give them light to all those in the house. And the reason why I'm bringing all this is because I want you to see that one thing is a lamp and one thing is the menorah. This is happens to be the lamp which we saw earlier, which that lamp goes on top of the menorah. You see that? That's two different things. And that's what Mashiach trying to imply when he was explaining that verse that we just heard earlier. Now, when the Kohen Hadol had to ascend, that's the word Behaaloteha. They needed to ascend to light the lamps. In the same concept, do you know that it is a command, it is a mitzvah that we're supposed to ascend one level every year, at least one level. But the problem is that we don't want to ascend. Sometimes we want to be steady, and sometimes we want to descend, but we don't want to ascend. There is Torah reading throughout the entire week, the Torah portions, right? And in Shabbat, the Torah reading, they call them the oles or aliyah, one of those two. That word aliyah or oles means to ascend. Ole or ali, that means those two means to ascend. To ascend to Yahweh. Our Creator wants us to ascend to Him, not descend. Problem is that we don't want to do that. That is the root of the problem. It's a matter of will. It's the will that we put on ourselves, within us, to ascend to our Creator, to do what is right. Let me ask you a question. Do we even pray? Do we even do tefillah? Do we study the scriptures? Do we study the Torah? Do we do charity, which is the charity that our Creator wants us to do? That is something that you need to respond to yourself. And a lot of these things, we don't do that. The basic stuff, we do not do that. And yet we call ourselves keepers of the Torah. It's kind of like a double standard. So it's questions that we need to answer to ourselves. In what plane are we in the eyes of Yahweh? Chapter 28, verse 12, he dreamed that there in front of him was a ladder resting on the earth, and when its end reached to the Shemayim heavens, and the Malachim of Yahweh, they see that Olim went up and they went down. So this is an example for us to understand that the Creator wants us to ascend, not descend. The Malachim were descending because they needed to, but Yahweh wants to ascend to Him. And that's a huge problem, that we don't want to do it. We just don't. So there's a huge problem there. Our Creator wants us to follow that path of righteousness. Look at what it says here. Chapter 11, verse 30. We're almost ending. The fruit of the tzaddik, the fruit of the righteous, the just, is a tree of life is born. Why is a tree of life in righteous? It's because the moment that you start keeping at least one commandment, the tree of life becomes within you. Didn't the Mashiach said that? Didn't he said that the kingdom of heaven is within you, not in the outside? He said within you, which means that we have the capability to bring about to the kingdom of Yahweh. The problem, once again, is the matter of will. We don't want to do that. 2-3 more slides. Chapter 4, verse 11 of Zechariah. And I responded by asking, what are those two olive trees to the right and the left of menorah? Then I asked another question, what are those two olive branches? By this charging color gold through the two gold pipes? And he answered, didn't you know who they are? I replied, no, my master. He did not know who these two olive branches were. But now, in these latter days, I'll tell you that we do know. chapter 14, 4:14, he said, those are the two who have been anointed with oil. They are before the master of all the earth. The question is, who are they? We know, but we need to decipher this because it's encrypted, it's decoded. Here it gives us the revelation. Chapter 11, verse 3. And I will also give you the power of the two witnesses, and they will prophesy 1,260 days, which is equal to 1,260 years, clothed in sackcloth. So who are these two witnesses? These two witnesses happens to be the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. The kingdom of Israel, which is the northern, and the kingdom of Judah. This happens to be the Dark Ages, when the papacy, the Pope, went about with the crusades and all this timing where they massacred a lot of Hebrew people and those who believe in the Mashiach as well. Look what it says here, chapter 19, verse 15 of Devarim, Deuteronomy. A witness alone would not be sufficient to condemn a person of any offense or sin of any kind. The matter will be settled only if there are 2 or 3 witnesses testifying against him. Now, the reason why the Creator in this case is talking about the 2 witnesses is because we will testify against the world what they did to the children of Israel throughout time, throughout history. And this is just a fact. Chapter 37, verse 16, look at what it says here. You, Ben Adam, you son of man, take a rod and write it on it, and look what it says, to Yehuda, the sons of Israel, his companions, then takes another rod and write on it to Joseph, the rod of Ephraim, and all the house of Israel, his companions. Then join them together, one with another, and they may become one, and they will be one in your hand. These 2 happens to be the 2 witnesses, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Yahweh says that we are his witnesses. Chapter 43, verse 12, therefore you are my witnesses. We are the witness of the atrocities and the things that they've done to our forefathers and even to all of us. Believe it or not, time will come where the past repeats itself. Just as well they did to our forefathers, so will all of us. They will come in the dark times, and we might have to go through the same thing as our fathers did. And Mashiach said that very, very clear. So, once again, all this is just a matter of understanding the end of time. We're closing. I will give you a few more news. A lot of things are happening on this channel, and I'm very, very happy to announce a lot of things. It's not just for myself that I'm very rejoiceful and happy, but for all of you, because you get to eat of the things that we are doing here. You get to grow in the spirit of all the things that we're doing here. And also, I want to encourage your support. Your support will be hugely appreciated on this channel. As it grows more, so is our need from your support to support all the things that we are bringing in this channel, all the productions that we're making, and all the efforts bringing about the website, and all this is very crucial. If you help us doing a tzedakah, a contribution, a donation to this channel, right below there is a link to PayPal. You can give anything that you can to our channel so we can grow more and we can bring more new content. I'm constantly bringing more content, whereas music, we are bringing music videos more and more. If you notice, I just happened to come out 2 more videos, and that to make that kind of content, we require money. So we really need your help. to bring all this. It just requires that. And I do everything that you can possible. All this stuff that I'm doing, that you see on this channel, that I do that on the side for us to show you that we can. But we also need the help, the monetary help. We really need your help. So it would be greatly appreciated. Also wanted to also tell you that there are more music that that you might want to check it out on the links on Spotify. There are 2 or 3 more singles that just came out, and they are very beautiful. I'm constantly bringing more content, music for you to enjoy, and it seems that it is working very, very much. Also, lastly, we just came out with a brand new book, debut. It's called The Last Relic. The reason why I'm mentioning this in this channel is because it has a lot of content that has a lot to do with us, that we are aware of. I'm talking about the Hebrew culture and also the knowledge in the Torah and what Mashiach said. In this book, even though it's an action adventure fiction, but I bring a lot of things that it connotes to resonates to the Antichrist, to the mark of the beast, to the one world government. All this is encoded on this book, but I put it in a very subtle way. And believe me, when you read it, you will know what I'm talking about. Please check it out. It's right below the link. And it's on 3 formats on Kindle. And it's actually on 99 cents if you want to check it out. If you want a hard copy or paperback, please check it out there on Amazon and you will see it. And believe me, it's beautiful writing that I took me a few months to write it, but I'm very grateful that the Creator happens to make this happen. There's more books coming very, very soon as well. So I'm working left and right into a lot of things, so you guys can check it out, and I'm very thankful for your support. I'm Rapha'Yah. We'll see you next time. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. We'll begin.
Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.